Okay, servicing the garage door, you need a nice soft nylon brush. Give the outside a wash. For washing the outside of the garage door, I like to use a wash and wax product. So after you've finished washing your car, you can just use the remainder of the suds to do your garage door. So wash your car first, and with your leftover suds, okay, so start at the bottom, work your way up, just wash the garage, wash all the salt and grime off it. Once you've put the wash and wax on, you can then hose it off. Okay, once you've finished washing the outside of your door, you can proceed inside. If you've got particularly noisy hinges and axles, what I do is take off these hinges here, one at a time, because you don't want the door caving in on you. Take that hinge off, like that. Okay, so clean the axle off. Get some grease, and a nice pop stick or something, and just, doesn't need a lot, bit of grease in there. Okay, while you've got that hinge off, you might as well just put a little bit of grease on these pivot points, a bit of oil on these pivot points, I mean, and a little bit there. A little bit there. Okay. Put your axle back in and put it back on the door. So, get your battery drill. Put the wheel back in the track. Okay. Line up your hole again. Okay, then proceed to the next one. Okay, same again for number 2 hinge. Remove the tips. Remove the axle. Give it a wipe. Listen for the bearing noise. That's well lubricated, that one. Once again, more grease for this. Put some more grease on the axle. Any sort of grease will do. There's no high pressure or heat involved with these things. Just general grease. Bit of oil around the pivot points. insert the axle back in. So it's that hole there, not that one. Okay, once again put the wheel into the track, line up the bottom hole there. Battery's just about fit in the drum. And there we go, so you just proceed up the door like that, and then you come to the hinges without the axles in them. Okay, for the rest of the hinges on the door, little squirt of oil on the pivot point there. Sometimes you can turn these axles, and you can't on this particular door, but that'll just keep it quiet. So you just do the whole door like that. So we go up to the next axle. Next hinge, I mean, put a little bit of oil there, oil there, not too much, it doesn't turn. And that'll quieten those down. Okay. Now if your spring sounds like it's binding or it looks like it's going rusty, what you can do is just put a dribble of oil across the top of it. Just be careful on the ladder. And just put a dribble of oil across the top. That's all it needs, and that should stop it binding and quieten it down. This one is particularly quiet, so not much on that, but if you just keep an eye on those, that's another way of keeping a garage door quiet. Raise the garage door so we can see the bottom wire hanger. Which is there. Okay. On this door, on these sectional doors, there's a pivot point there where the wire hangs onto. You just put that in a little squirt of oil occasionally, just to keep the rust away and keep it quiet. The bottom wheel, I just use oil on the bottom, a little bit there. Okay, leave it in, and all's good. Now with the tracks, try and avoid this stuff on your garage door. What I find it does is takes the grease out of the bearings and the wheels and leaves a residue for dust and sand to collect on. Okay, depending on how fussy you want to be with your tracks, you can either use a silicone spray, CRC spray, or some people use a wax or a car shine with the car shine to spray it on your tracks. Of course, you wipe it down and give it a polish. That's the best way. A quicker way, of course, is to use silicone spray. Spray your tracks a whole lot, but then remember to wipe them out, because you don't want that residue on your tracks. It just collects dirt and grime. So keep your tracks nice and clean, polished or siliconed, and you'll be happy. Okay, with your auto, there's various types of auto rail. That one in particular is a T section type one, and you can put a little bit of grease on those. But that's about the only one you can put grease on. If you have the pole or the tubular type auto opener, keep that clean with polish or silicone spray, the same as the tracks. If you've got a C-section one with a chain or a belt drive in it, well, there's no real maintenance you need to do with that. So anyway, that one up there is a T-rail. You can put a little bit of grease on those. But that's about it for the motor really. You don't really need to service those at all. I suppose I should touch on the inside. Your garage door on the inside, in this case it's because it's not subject to any humidity or anything, stays relatively clean, so you just give it a wipe occasionally. But a lot of people have clothes dryers in their garage. In that case you need to give your garage door a wipe on the inside as well, because condensation gets on there and it starts to corrode. But in this case it doesn't need much, just a wipe over occasionally. Okay, so I hope that helps with your garage door maintenance. Just keep it, do that once a year or something like that, and you'll be happy. Cheers.